Roger, I understand it's difficult, but can you try to explain what happened after you won the first set? Was it him? Was it you? Both? How do you explain it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a tough game to get broken at 1-0, I think it was for him in the second. I had, I think, multiple game chances to get out of the game and go 1-all and you know, keep the pressure up. I think I didn't serve as accurate as I should have in that very moment, and he connected well on a few returns to keep him in the game. And I think, you know, in hindsight, that was maybe a bit of a key moment in the match. I think things really turned around from him, for him at that moment. He started to feel better from the return, from the baseline. He wasn't missing as much anymore. He was returning much better also off the second serve after that. Yeah, and then I just think he raised his game and I couldn't follow anymore, and maybe my game dropped naturally a little bit because he was playing better, but you know, maybe never really reached my best level because the first set was all right, you know, but he didn't play very well in that set, I don't believe. Yeah, so it's pretty disappointing, but at the end he did play extremely well, and he was the better player on the court, so I feel like it's okay like this, you know, for him to win.
David said yesterday that he had a plan for playing you slightly differently this time compared with the 6 previous losses. Did you feel he did change things up a bit this time against you? He had a different approach?
Yeah, he played better. That was a good plan. It's that simple. I don't feel like you could do that much different things on this court, you know. If you told me that he was going to play way back in the court and roll the ball up and try things like this, then it's really a big change. Other than that, I didn't feel a big difference to previous times, and he struggled for the first set and a bit anyways. So I just think he was able to raise his game, and maybe I helped him doing it, maybe not. But look, I just think the better returner won over the better server today, and it's a bit disappointing for me because, you know, it's indoors, it's a court I like to play on, but I had my chances and missed them, and when he had them he was very committed, and I think that was the difference today.
Roger, obviously today's a big disappointment, but could you sort of sum up your whole season? How do you feel, and sort of also throw it forward to next season and tell us what your main goals are?
Yeah, it's been an amazing year for me. Been so happy that I was playing at this level, you know, from the beginning till basically the end, till today. So it's been great. Really enjoyed myself in the process. I felt I was, you know, playing in a way that I also, you know, I like, you know, playing forward, playing attacking tennis. I wish I could have done that a little bit more today. So it's kind of disappointing to finish on this note, but you know, whatever happened today is less important than if I look at the entire season. And with that season, I'm extremely happy. Looking ahead, clearly the build-up is not going to be 6 months like it was last time around. It's not going to be 6 weeks of tennis. It's just going to be 2-3 weeks, so it's going to be short. But I did that 15 years previously, so I know how to handle the build-up. And then, you know, I'm just looking forward to some time off right now and away from the match courts again, away from the pressure, and then hopefully play well in Australia. Can't wait to play there again. Had a best time of my life over there this year, so can't wait to go back there.
Roger, we used to see you raise the level on those big matches. Were you surprised that the base game didn't click today, or did you feel it coming this week because of, I don't know, the surface, the conditions, or your game, what it was feeling?
And now I'm not that disappointed that I wasn't able to raise it, because I just felt like I was never quite feeling it 100%. I think that's also where maybe the frustration came in the previous matches. I still believe that I was going to be able to lift it, and maybe if David wouldn't have, you know, maybe been able to lift his game, I would have found a way to win today, and then who knows what happens again in the finals. Give myself one more opportunity against a different type of player. Look, it is what it is now. There's no need to dwell over it, especially not when it's the last match of the season. I wish I could have played more aggressive today, but just never really felt comfortable, you know, taking the ball on. Started with the return, started with the first shot after the serve. There was never like this, you know, simple 1-2 punch or return and first strike. I never got 100% comfortable with it throughout the entire tournament, but regardless, I still played a good tournament, you know, if I consider.
Roger, you know David pretty well. Sorry to ask you that, but do you feel that it can go till the end with this game?
In this tournament?
Yep.
Yeah, of course. I mean, otherwise he wouldn't be in the finals, or I hope he didn't beat me just for fun and then, you know, to roll over in the finals. So clearly I believe he's got a chance, you know. Again, totally different match. It's really difficult to back it up, you know, after you beat, you know, someone like Rafa. You know, we saw it in the next match, somebody like me. It's the same situation. It's just a different match, you know, and a different atmosphere. But he's crushed me too many times in practice not to finally do it also once in a match situation. So, no, I'm very happy for him. He's a great guy, and I like him a lot. And I think today he played so nice that he deserves to be in the finals. That's what I told him at the net as well. And I hope he can play a good finals tomorrow.
How will you rate your health situation after the season and through the whole season? Your back, your knee?
Yeah, knee is no problem at all. Back was just in Montreal, and then, you know, there was this phase of, you know, finally feeling confident again and getting stronger and stuff. So took a little longer than I thought it took, to be quite honest. But because I didn't feel it coming in a brutal way in Montreal. I mean, when it happened, look, it was sore, it was bad, and it didn't allow me to play anymore properly. And maybe should have been better to stop, to not make it worse. But I don't think I made it worse by just finishing the match. And because it happened at the very end of the match, or sort of, you know, the beginning of the second, I thought I was okay, faster. But it took actually quite some time, and even after New York, I still did feel it. So I'm actually very relieved that I was able to finish strong now in Shanghai and Laver Cup Basel, and then now here again as well. So it shows that things are in the past now, and it's good to know that I can bounce back, you know, and get my confidence back. Other than that, I didn't have many problems, other than I had sort of a groin issue after the Australian Open that I played on for probably about 10 days of the tournament. But then again, when I rested and I came to Dubai, I was okay again. So considering how last year went, this year was perfect.
Roger, right at the back.
Yeah.
You touched on Australia. How long will you give yourself, like, you know, total break, not do anything, and when will you really start working for Australia?
I'll probably take 2 weeks off, 2 weeks vacation. I feel like it's what we always need at the end of the season, not just myself, but my wife as well, and my kids too. We all need to spend some family time together. We love that. Most important time of our lives, you know, to spend the time together like that. After that, I'll start beginning of December, my training again, maybe on vacation. Obviously, I'll start moving around just a little bit, just so the comeback into training is not so hard, you know. And then I'll leave at the end of the year for the Hopman Cup to get ready for, I think I'm playing on the 30th, my first match, so that's the plan there.
You said yesterday that you were confident, but does this level, the level of David, of course, does it surprise you today?
No, because I know how well he can play, you know, in practice. And in practice, I've gone through phases where, you know, I've seen this level before, like today. It's just that in practice, my level is not normally as high as in a match. So then I allow him to play better. But I know to what level he can raise, you know, his play, especially on the return side, you know. And if you're not moving your legs, if you can't hurt enough from the baseline, you can find yourself in all sorts of trouble. And when he starts feeling it, like any good baseliner, it becomes very tricky sometimes if you can't wrestle away sort of if I can't come with the power anymore, it's difficult, you know, because he's fast and so forth. So that's why I'm not surprised, to be quite honest.
Roger, you obviously made a fantastic comeback this season, having taken time off at the end of last year. What do you expect from Stan and Novak and Andy, who have also obviously taken the back end of this year off? Are you expecting them to come back strongly, or is it going to be a slow process?
Well, you always got to expect a slow process, and then if it goes fast, that's great. Look, we all had to take a time off. I didn't choose to take the time off last year. You make me look like a genius sometimes and tell me, yeah, you take time off, you come back and you're good again. You know, it's not how it goes. I think if we could have played, we all would have played. So it's not like by choice that we probably did this, or I'd say maybe there's, I don't know. I think we all couldn't play. So that's a problem to start off with. Coming back is always a challenge for the body. It's a challenge for the team because you got to be extremely patient, yet positive. Not so easy, you know, in some instances. Yeah, so I expect obviously from the likes who have been up extremely high up in the rankings and won slams like Stan, Andy and Novak. Of course, I expect greatness from them, you know, when they do return at some stage, not maybe from the very beginning, but I wouldn't be surprised if it worked out for them as well, like it worked out for me and Rafa. So the others, you know, I have no idea exactly what the problem is, and I hope that also Kay and Thomas and Milos all find their way back on tour, and preferably in Australia, because that would make it quite epic. Comeback for all the guys, and then you mix them together with the new guys from the World Tour finals here, who've just come off a great year and obviously are confident they want to stay in the top 10, want to make the World Tour finals again, and they are sort of weaving their way in and say like, well, not so fast, guys, we also want to make it. And then you have the young guys coming through. So I think it could be actually a very cool start to the year, which I'm really looking forward to.